Come on in, guys.
Hello, everybody.
This is a satellite receiver. We get pictures and stories down from NBC virtually around the clock. We're right in the process of about to get ready to drop at 1 o'clock. They send us stories that we look at and decide whether or not we're going to use. Those are fed virtually all day long and all night long.
Pioneers!
Yeah, absolutely.
We're on TV here.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Hi.
Hi, Ben.
You gotta find a teleprompter?
No. Oh, that's all. We read all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh! He's
No, we don't.
No? Just as well. But anyway, this is where they put in all that. They get all the information from the National Weather Service, and they put in all of that, the forecast stuff that you see on the screen, and they put together the maps that are behind them when they do the weather. Then over here is another satellite dish where we get where we get more of our information. We have some computer stations over here. Back here in the corner is one of our editing booths. This is where we take our videotapes and we take them in here and we put them in one machine and then we work them around the way we want to, and they come out on another machine, and then we can run them on the air the way we want to do it. Sometimes we do a video voiceover where they read it live during the newscast, and sometimes they put their voice right on the tape, which we call a package. And, shifts of 2, reporter and videographer, or sometimes 2 reporters. They take a camera with them. In fact, all the cameras are out right now, I think, except for maybe one on the floor back there. They go out and find stories, or they go out to locations that we already know where there is a story occurring, and they get that information. They do the interview, they get all of the facts that they need, and then they bring them back here, they write up the story, and they take it into the edit booth, and they put the video to match the story. Basically, that's what our people do. Now, we have newscasts that start at 6 o'clock in the morning every day. Come on, guys.
I know this guy.
Right about there. Right there. How are you?
Good. Hi.
Good to see you. Those commercials are basically what helps to pay our salaries, so that we have a full department of people that do nothing but that. Around here in this office that we're about to walk by, it's the traffic department, which basically puts together the log, which tells us what's supposed to be on the air at any minute during the day. You're supposed to know exactly what it is, and that's what they do. And then also Vicky's office, Miss Jarrell's office, you remember her. She's the other lady she's our public affairs director. She's also our program director. Her office is over here as well. This is Rick Bradden's office. I don't know if you guys know Rick or not, but basically what they do in here is we store all of our videotapes for the commercials, which are right around the corner back there. And then this is the computer, that used to be the art department. When I started here back in the early 70s, we had film, 16mm film and 8mm film, and we had to process it every day. And there was a processor back there. It was a big dark room. And then there is one that's bigger than that. I was looking for 3/4, yeah. So you have those sizes.
Keep the camera on, but you can't deny it.
And then we get into real big roll tapes.
How big can tapes get besides the tapes without the
There
tapes?
used to be a tape when I first started. It was a tape 2 inches wide.
Wow. I didn't hear that. So the smaller ones are the more modern ones then? Is that what you're saying?
The smaller, the more modern. Yeah.
How long have you been here, Mr. Gerlach?
Actually, I started back here in high school.
Oh, really?
I worked part-time during the summer on Easter Straker's show, and so that was back in the late 60s.
Wow.
And then I went away to school, and when I came back, got married and came back, I started back in the film department, and eventually went on to news, and was a 6 o'clock anchor for a lot of years. Everybody control. You're going to get a good view of this.
Don't they have
Folks, I would
Keep
like
your hands
to
to
meet
yourself.
Terry Johns. Mr. Johns is our director of production here at WLIO. He is in charge of this room and all of the behind-the-scenes stuff that goes on around here in terms of getting commercials done and getting programs directed and everything else.
Computer in this room, but let me start by saying when we go live, as in when we're doing a newscast, it's done from this room. Right now, we are not live, so we can do what we call production. We can put commercials together, we can put shows together in here. The room behind us, which you will walk through in a little bit, It's called master control, and they're on the air right now. They are the ones providing the on-air signal. Once again, when we go live, it's done from this room right here. Reversal side of that. Yes, sir.
What's that button that says?
Videotapes, cameras, and everything comes through that switch. So that's just one of the things we can do with it. Everything in here has a monitor to it. As in the videotape machines, before they hit the air, we can see them down here in black and white. Ball scores and our name inserts during the news.
Ball scores, maybe?
Yes.
What's this?
What's this one? Okay. This one runs our teleprompter, and that means probably nothing to you, but
Oh,
as
that's where you put in like the cancellation.
we like to keep it cold in here.
What's
because of a lot of equipment.
what kind of training do you take for a job such as this?
My
Or do you just
training-
work your way up?
My training was work my way up, yes. I started many years ago running camera, and then worked myself through up to production and to where I'm at now.
Okay.
Guys,
Right this way, guys, and don't touch anything, please.
Hi, Jerry.
That's caption. Closed caption.
Okay, going
This is
up.
the master control.
Master control room. There you go.
Room back here is one big power station. And then these are also monitors that tell us whether or not we're broadcasting the way we're supposed to. And the FCC requires that we monitor it at certain times.
Here we are on the set.
Okay. You see the TV screens? You were asking about this before? Please don't touch anything. Guys, please.
Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back and just look with your eyes.
Very good. You see the TV screens down in there? So that when they look down, they can see what's on the air. It tells them what's going on. Have you ever noticed that the picture behind them changes from the 6 to the 11 o'clock news? There's a daylight picture and then there is a nighttime picture. And we actually changed that between the 6 and the 11. And they're talking about the statistics, and they go from the highs to what the forecast is going to be the next day. They press that red button right there, and the picture changes behind them.
You can see ourselves in there. Oh, yeah. It's alright.
Basically, you see the cameras following me right now?
Are we going to be on air?
Oh.
No, not on the air. We won't put you on the air. The cameras are robotic, so we have no camera people anymore. Even when we do our local program, what we have is
Shh, listen.
we have an engineer in the control room who can make the cameras work all by himself. The only thing they cannot do is somebody do that. So we have somebody that stays out in the studio called the floor director, and his responsibility is to take care of that.
So how's that moving? It's following.
No, there is a switch in the control room that can move the camera back and forth and up and down, zoom it in and out, and focus it. It just cannot physically move the base promptly. It looks like it's a TV screen right now, but when they're into the news, what actually comes up is a script. And so they get a chance to compare reading or telling you a story. What they're doing is they're reading it right off the front of their screen. Now, young lady, right underneath you, on the floor, underneath the desk, do you see a gray little pedal there? Put your foot on it. See, watch what happens.
Oh. That's how
Now,
they do that.
there are 2 bars on both sides of that pedal, right? There are silver bars. I want you to touch the right side.
Your attention, please. The internet mail server is going to be shut down for approximately 5 minutes.
Okay, now press the button, press the pedal again.
They just take it like that.
Whoa.
Because then it can't see the words in front of it. So you at home never realize there are words flashing in front of right across your TV screen. And that's how they do that. They read it by pressing that pedal, and moving the words up whenever they want to. Sometimes our news people will ask for a specific shot, or sometimes the director will decide that that's a nice way of doing it. Every one of our programs has a person that we call a producer, and their job is to put together the scripts and then make those kind of decisions. And so those people will decide, and they'll write it down on the script. They'll have a piece of paper in front of them that'll have the script of what they're supposed to read, and then right beside that, it'll say camera 1 or take camera 2 or wide shot or tight shot or whatever.
Guys.
Is that the function that changes?
Now you see?
Oh,
now,
look.
what they do is that they take all of the green out of the picture. Out of the picture that you're looking at, they take everything that's green out of that picture, and they substitute it with whatever they want to substitute it with. In this case, they do it with the national news, the weather maps. And so our weather people, actually, it looks like they're standing in front of maps, but they're only standing in front of this screen.
And is that their monitor over there that's behind
They have a
them?
monitor here where they can see what's going on. Where's my...
But remember, when they do that, they're seeing mirror image. So if they point here,
Oh.
it's really over here.
So when they say something like, well, you know, if you look down here in the North Dakota range, you'll see. Would you throw it over to throw the buttons over to 2 for just a second?
Is that the one thing they turn the news?
Yeah. Now you see how it's come up on this screen? So now I can look over here and I can figure out if I want to point to California, I can point right to California because I can see it on the screen. Couldn't see it here, I couldn't figure out where it be. But right here will tell me I can do this. And your image does this in reverse. It's exactly the opposite when you look at yourself in the... See, if you look here on the TV screen, as I hold up my hand, I'm expecting that other side to do it, and it's not. That's Jay Fought, and on the weekends it's Jeff Cook. They are both excellent at what they do. They make it entertaining, they make it informative, and they do a very, very, very good job. Go to the watch. Go to the watch.